say a bit about intentions, just a little bit.
Your life.
Hello, everyone. Excited as always. It's me here, Coach Joyce Loy, and then we have Coach Jay, and we have our guest, Coach Rahma. I'll say briefly about Coach Rahma. Coach Rahma is a transformational coach. I've known her for a very long time. I don't know. I don't want to count years because it's been ages. But I'm really, really glad that we always have each other's back. For me, she's a sister from another mother, and I'm glad I've seen her through the journey of being where she is now, and she has seen me through my journey. And I'm really glad to have her today while we talk about an important topic, tips on how to make 2023 a great year. But before we dive into it, I would like Rahma to briefly introduce herself and tell us something about herself.
Thank you so much, beautiful queens. I'm super, super grateful, first of all, to just be part of this amazing platform that you and Jane have created to actually really contribute and pour and also give back into helping people to get to that next level of themselves with the growth, with everything that is part of what we need the community to actually help us to think bigger, but also open up to new opportunities for ourselves and really allowing ourselves to go to the next level that we desire to go. And I love the way that you always like come out with all this introduction. It's always with the energy on the top of the floor. You're always fire. And so it's incredible. And I'm a transitional growth coach. And I love when people, they're always calling me as a transformational coach, but I'm actually a transitional growth coach because transformational is the industry we're all working on. We're all into the transformational industry where we're helping and serving people to actually getting to transform their life and changing their life. And this is what I love the most, being part of such a beautiful industry that it's not just about helping and serving, but it's also going back because the more we're helping somebody else, we are helping also ourselves. And this is what's really, really incredible. So I serve two type of people. I serve people who are actually coming from the corporate world into getting to build their own career as a self-employed or as their own boss or building their how can I say it their own journey being an entrepreneur. And I also serve entrepreneurs, existing entrepreneurs, business owners, and etc. The coaches, change makers like we are, into actually get to the next level of themselves by truly embodying the essence of what it takes to be their own entrepreneur and understanding and expanding to the capacity of what was not possible. And yeah, so again, thank you so much. I'm really grateful to be here. So I'm going to give it back to you, Joyce.
Glad to have you. Coach Jay, would you like to share something before I go back to Coach Rahman?
I'm just excited to have her here. And the word she described, the transitional coach, I don't hear it a lot. So it's really unique. And I will chat to you later just to find out more about that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm so looking forward for it.
that's
I'm
what we are here
ready.
for. Yes, Rahma.
Yeah. Also, it was a question. I'm sorry, guys. You see, this is what happens. I love the flow of this conversation. That sometimes when there is a question, you might think that we're just going into the conversation. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jane, for the question. And it's a very great question, actually, because from my journey, I have started from an entrepreneur. I've always been an entrepreneur myself. I've never like work and 9 to 5 jobs and etc. because I always saw myself like that person who loves freedom. And for me, freedom was a must never trade to anything else, even money, right? My freedom was coming before anything else. The freedom to do the things that I love, that I'm passionate about. Was it really easy? No, it was very hard and it was very difficult. But then the belief of believing in what I see in myself, in what I believe that I can give, and the way I can also inspire somebody else who would like to be in that journey is what helped me to overcome all the challenges, the obstacles, but also to believe more into also helping somebody else to break free and completely getting to find their own freedom of
Mhm.
doing the things they love, they're passionate about. So transitioner, it's a very powerful word because I remember there was a time when I was like, okay, I'm in this transformational industry where everybody is a mentor, is a coach, is a transformational coach, and etc. But I know what I do. It's beyond just transforming and changing people's life. So what am I? And then I have to journal it. I have to go deeper into that essence of mine, getting to discover who I truly am. And that's exactly what I do by helping entrepreneurs to understand the core of the essence of what they do so that they can come up with that voice of theirs, that image of theirs that representing that essence, but also positioning themselves by expanding like in capacity. It's like you are activating your core in your roots, and then your tree is growing, and now the branches are your potential, are your talents, are everything, igniting your relationship either with your kids, with your husband, or maybe in your relationship, building your career in the way where you want it. And sometimes people, they come and ask me, oh, you're coming from a fashion industry, how is it possible that now you are a coach transforming people's life? What happened to your brain in fashion? And I'm like, the fashion designer in me would never die. It is part of me. But my
Sure.
brand expanded with me being a coach, with my expertise coming from the fashion industry, where now I'm helping people to actually really reveal that image of theirs that is contributing to that essence in the core of everything they are. And then they go like, okay, but it's not easy, to make people understand things. And so yeah, it's kind of like that because for me, my work, I'm helping people to transition from where they are to go to where they are. And when they arrive where they are, it's also there is a phase of transitioning, of ascending. And at that moment, that's when you come also and helping them to actually get from that phase of where they are to go where they need to go. And I can say that it's such a beautiful blessing to just be able to just helping so many people to transcend and ascend to the maximum capacity of what they never thought or even so possible.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's very true. Transitioning is not something easy doing it on your own. So I feel, I don't know what Coach J thinks, but in my own words, I think everyone needs a transition one way or another, especially when you're going to a new phase of your life, like you said, for corporates want to go to the next ladder. You know how it is for corporates. Want to go to the next ladder. How do I transition from just being a salesperson to actually becoming a manager? So that's an interesting that's an interesting career. And for me, because you've been part of my journey, and so many of us we worked with you. You worked with us, and you're amazing. And for me, you were part of that transformation, of my life, even being a coach. So that's why I can never stop calling you a transformational coach, because for me it somehow works hand in hand, transformational coach and transitional coach, because they are both transformation. You're transforming into a better version of yourself. Transition, just from one version of yourself to another version. That's how I understand it. So I feel it's almost the same thing. I don't know what you think, Coach.
Well, I'll have to do a lot of research. Before I
All right. Yeah, you have School of Google. You can go Google it out.
yes,
Otherwise, today we are talking about tips on how to make 2023 a great year. And I was actually talking about setting intentions. And my version of setting intention comes in so many ways. But one way is people write a lot of resolutions to achieve in a year. Like it's now 2023, and you find someone writing how they want to achieve A and B and C and D. But have you set intentions on how you're going to achieve it? And there are lots of ways that this can be done. And that's where I'm not going to go so much into details about it, but I'm going to give it to you, Coach Rahma, to give us more information while you share your points on how you think setting intentions is very important when you are looking at getting better in the next year, or even now on making 2023 a great year.
Well, it's a great way on how to come with this view of how we really want to succeed within this 2023. And before I just go deeper into that question that you asked me, uh, we just need to understand, first of all, that intention doesn't just come from the fact that I want to achieve something. Intention comes from, and I love what you said, because from the previous live you say that we choose. You say the word choosing, and the word choosing, it's very powerful, because when whether either we choose to suffer, we choose that. We choose to commit, we choose that. We choose to go and move forward in our life, we choose that. We choose to stay with our pen and never go anywhere and live the same life over and over, we choose that. Every time we make a decision, we make a choice. And that choice comes with the cost, with whatever is the outcome result that we're getting. And this is what people need to understand, that when you say that today I desire to have a certain goal and I desire to achieve that goal, now your intention has to come with the decision that you're choosing that, despite the cost, despite the obstacles, despite the challenges, despite even the pain you might go through. Because life is not rosy, it's not straightforward all the time, it's not a straight line. Sometimes you can start a business and boom, things are getting so crazy around you. You are starting getting momentum of things coming like a flash of booming, like people like telling you, like, stock is not working, things, and it's just coming. And the moments when you're not ready for that, you're gonna go like, maybe I made the wrong decision, maybe it was not meant for me. So you see people start giving up on their dreams, on their passion, on the road of going and start their goals by the minor things that appear to be already an obstacles. And this is something we really need to go and looking forward and saying, okay, this is happening, great, amazing. So that's also making me understand that, because I'm stretching to new capabilities, because I'm stretching to new opportunities, because I'm becoming somebody else, my mindset of programming that has been programmed for so long, of always playing small, of never believing in myself, of not looking forward to think bigger, but just playing around what I see around the environment, is what is going to create the scenarios of what's going to come to me. And then I need to understand that if I need to go through that, I need to accept all that comes. It's here, fine. Now it's here. What am I supposed to do for this? I'm going to look for the solution, because whatever there is a problem, there is always a solution. But also, there is something that I love saying all the time. After problem, there is what? There is no problem. Because after problem, there is now the way and how to solve the problem. How many of us we saw COVID and the recession and everything, that people had to even lose jobs and etc. And then after that, what happened? Life came back like nothing never happened before. Everybody got back to their jobs. They found new jobs. Some people, they found themselves new passion. Some people just started new businesses and etc. You know, so after the problem, there is no problem. So when the problem is there, it's the moment where you're learning and how to become your best version by tapping in, looking forward. What do I need to change in myself? And those are your intention by wanting to become your best version during that period of difficulty, of pain, of obstacles, of things that are not making sense to you. But somehow you know deep inside that they're happening for you. They're not happening to you. And this is what makes life very interesting, because this is what we call the duality word. That in another exchange, I know that maybe I shouldn't talk about this right now, but in reality, when there is darkness, there is light. When there is pain, there is relief. And when there is like sadness, there is happiness. So at the end of the day, we choose. How do you want to transcend from that? We want to go from sadness, pain, and then release it and then find happiness. But you cannot just cut the road and say, I'm going to go straight and finding happiness. That would be amazing if it was possible. All of us will be doing it. But because it's not possible to do that, that's why we have to go through the pain, so we can learn, what is this pain here to teach me? It's here to make me become something better. It came here to remind me about something that I forgot to take care about myself, that I need now to pay attention to. Then, when you do that, now things transform because now you have the power to create now what is it that you want to go with. And that's where the power of choosing and making the right decision by setting those intentions aligned with everything that is within it that you want and desire takes place. So I hope that I was able to just a little bit go deeper into what you asked about intention.
Yeah, that's a great that's a great explanation actually. But I wanted to say something about what you've shared, and there is something that they normally say, and I'll share something that happened in the book club. We're doing a book club, man searching for meaning, something like that, Coach J.
A man's
Yeah.
search for meaning.
Yes, and there was this version of this man saying, even in suffering, there is purpose. So
Mm.
and it reminds me of COVID. You talking about COVID. When COVID started, we lost jobs. Personally, I lost my job, but there was transition, into something better, into the better version of what I am today. Because when I look back at that point of time, I felt like, what is happening? How can I lose my job? I don't deserve this. I've worked so hard, but there was better coming for me. But at that point of time, maybe I was looking at it as suffering. How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to take care of myself? You look for all these things that are happening and you surround negativity around it, but you forget that you can get out of it if you make that decision. And that's where I like what you shared, Rahma, choosing. Because if you choose to stay in that suffering and you don't do anything about it, then it becomes purposeless. It can only be purpose in suffering if you do something about it. You choose to get out of it. You choose to become something better from that suffering.
Mm.
I think you could share your next point. Or Coach J, you want to share anything else on
Now, I
that?
want to say that it's beautiful how she said actually two key points I gotten from her. Number one, after problem, there's no problem. And that mindset is really beautiful, you know. When you think like there's no problem after, they're like, okay, fine, let's move on, let's see what happens. And I love the other point on things happen for you and not to you. And again, that's another mindset shift that once we start embracing that, okay, it's okay, I didn't get the job, but this is happening for me. There's something else coming, something greater coming after this. And how she's explained it, you have gone back to the word transition. You've mentioned that during COVID, you transitioned, and now it gives more clarity why she chose to select transition coach than a transformational coach because we are transitioning. Now I got the point there. Thank you.
Yeah, and I believe it aligns so well with tips on making 2023 a great year because we transitioned from 2022 to 2023, becoming a better version of ourselves. Rahma, your next point.
Well, my next point would be to analyze now, after setting those intention, is to analyze now the limiting belief that are holding us and making us stuck to go, to move forward and go and accomplish whatever it is that we put behind those intention. And why is it important to analyze this limiting belief? Because most of the time we are busy trying and doing, and then we are not really looking forward and looking backwards to what is actually the problem from me not realizing whatever it is that I'm working on right now. Because everyone start working in a business, everyone start working on the personal development, they can go to a coach, and that if you're not really accepting that there is an inner work for you to go deeper and look for and face your demons, because that's what I always tell my clients. If you're not ready to face your demons and your pain to emerge with it, then you're not ready to go where you need to go. Because when you are actually ready, you won't have any resistance to anything. You will be accepting whatever it was and what is, in order for you to work on it and move forward with it, in order for you to create now and be aligned with the new version of yourself that you're actually working hard of becoming that person. And this is also very powerful because most of the time we will find that people will come and say, for example, this is a very general example that I'm giving here. People will be like, you know what, I've done so many things. I tried this, I did this, I've done the tactics, I've done the techniques. People told me to do this, I've learned this, I've done this. Yes, but there is a limiting of belief behind your subconscious mind that is actually holding all your programming. Maybe you're working on making money, but then behind your subconscious mind, you always had a limiting belief of saying, like, I'm not worthy of having money. I'm not worthy of having a wealth. I'm not worthy of being rich. So then you're going to do everything possible, but then your inner saboteur will come back and hold you of going further. And if you're not ready to go back and accept it and saying, you know what, I think actually I really have a serious problem with the relationship of money that I'm actually having, and I need to look forward to it. But then when you go and accept things, now you're welcoming them to look at them, and then working on cleaning all those limiting beliefs, changing them, setting new habits of what is that, okay, from now on, my relationship with money is going to be this one. And I know it's not an easy job. That's where our jobs as coaches also comes on, to help you transcend from that moment and helping you to understand better what is the work that you need in order for you to work on those limiting beliefs. Because we can give you all this tech, we can give you all the techniques, the tools, but then it's also an inner work. Because remember, this is what I always tell people: I don't have the answer. You do have them inside of you. But my job is to guide you on how to go and find them. And then after finding them, it's your work, not my work. My work is to hold the energy and allowing you to fall into that space so that you can emerge from that space and rise from that space when, for example, your old version comes back and kicking again and saying, you know what, I'm not worthy of doing this. Or you know what, I'm not ready to face this. Or I'm not ready to face this trauma. Or I'm not ready to face this. That's when my job, like our jobs as coaches, comes on and helping you to actually really get through those moments and emerge from that. And this is why it's very important to really be into the acceptance, but also be more grateful, forgiving. And when I say forgiving, is to forgive ourselves, because many times we forgive other people, but are we able to forgive that part of ourselves that is also made us being stuck for so long and not break through? Are we ready to forgive that part of ourselves that always like look very small to ourselves and you know sabotage ourselves in a way where, look at you, you're not worthy, you don't have this, you don't have that, right? A lot of things that we have been going through, are we ready to forgive that, accept it and love it, and then emerge with it? Because that's the most important part. If we're not ready to accept, forgive and move forward, you can battle and fight with it till the end of your life and trying so many things and saying all the time it's not working. But it's not that it's not working. You are not allowing it to work, which is the difference.
Yeah. You know what, Rahma? I like when you share that sometimes people do not accept their what, the things they want, or the things they choose for themselves. When you wake up in the morning and tell yourself, you know what, I have this money. I'm not worth it. That means you're not going to do anything with that money. It's just going to be there and you keep looking at it, you know? But when I see people enjoying, for me, every time I see people enjoying life, someone going on a yacht, and I'm like, oh, I wish I was there, but I have to work. This person is enjoying their money, whether it's their money or someone else's money, they are enjoying life, because that's what I think it should be. Feeling like you're worth living, you know? Because when you keep living the life of, I'm not worth it, I'm not worth it, nothing is going to come to you, because you're not grateful for life. You're not grateful for what you have. And then the other point you also shared that that I really resonates a lot with me is forgiving ourselves. We are always in conflict with ourselves, you know? Someone does something to you and it's easy for you to say, it's okay, it's okay, I accept the apology. But you, and I'll use again, standing in the mirror and telling yourself, I am sorry for always thinking that I don't deserve this in life. I am sorry. Sometimes you should do that. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm sorry for saying you don't deserve it. You deserve to live the life. You deserve to make 2023 a great year for yourself. Because the moment you accept, and I like what you said, acceptance. People do not accept who they are and who they are becoming. And that's why they get stuck where they are, even when they have all the possibility of making it. I don't know what you think about this point, Coach Jay. You could share something.
Yes, there's so much to take from there, but some of the things that resonated with me, analyzing itself, it goes along with the topic we did last week on reflection, because before you set on a journey, you have to look back and ask yourself the questions that Coach Rama has said. What happened there, so that for you to learn how to move from there, because you've become better, you've learned. And then there's the other point you talked about, the same thing you've built on, Coach Joy, on money. We want to become wealthy, we want to become rich, but we keep telling ourselves all these negative words. And I came across this theory in this book from Jen Sincero, I think, about something to make in money. And she was saying, you want to be like, you want to go to the yacht, you want to do all these amazing things, but you're busy hating on people who are doing that. Already, you're building that negative mentality in your head. In some way, you're blocking yourself. I want to be a transformational coach, but anytime I see a transformational coach, I'm just dissing them. I'm just saying negative words. Little do I know that those negative words, they're bouncing back to me. I'm starting slowly, slowly to, say those tiny words when I'm not listening, when I'm not like conscious. I'm like, when I'm sleeping, I'm like, oh, Jane, you cannot be a life coach. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. Those words, they bounce like light. It's bouncing back. But the moment I see Coach Rahman, I'm like, oh my God, I celebrate you, I clap for you, I start feeling that happiness instead of all that negative vibe that I keep keeping on the side, like, oh, come on, hating, hating, hating. Until when are we going to hate? So when we start loving ourselves, we start, you know, speaking positive words, going hand in hand with what Coach Rahman had said, it helps us to grow as people. And this will help us in 2023 because curiosity, as I said before, will start to kick in. Back to you.
So,
And
thank you. Yes,
I
Coach.
just wanted to compliment something that Jane said there, and just to for what she said, because what you said is also powerful. What you say, and this is exactly what I always tell people: everything is energy, and your energy is connected to everything, either your mind, your thoughts, your body language, your way of expressing, your way of even seeing things, perceiving things, and feeling about things. So everything is related to that. And it's a very great point that you say that when we want to become somebody, then we have got to embody that person, and also loving the process of whatever is already that person, loving the idea that, okay, this is me, this is a future me, this is another extension of me. And I'm loving seeing that. And it's a very powerful way when you're celebrating others that are doing what you are loving to do. It's a way also to really telling also the universe that, you know what, I'm loving what I'm doing, and thank you for allowing me to see the other aspects of me also doing what I do. And it's beautiful because we're all connected at the end of the day. And this is what most of us were not actually really understanding, that the power of energy is everywhere. It's existing within everything. And even those when it's coming to limiting belief, is the energy that holding that is actually going to help you to change and shift from whatever perception you're coming from. So I just wanted to add that. Now, Joyce, I'm going to give it back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I also wanted to just speak about energy, and it's something you do a lot, Rahma. Like, you always, like you actually said it even here right now. You said you put someone into the energy of them accepting, in them realizing that because as coaches we don't give solutions, and it's something people don't understand. We are there to facilitate you and help you so that you find the solution, because you already know, you just don't want to accept sometimes, or sometimes you just don't know. But I love the energy because everything, and you just even said it, Rahma, right now, everything we do and everything about life is energy. What you give is what you get. You can't get love if you're not giving love. You can't get happiness if you're not giving happiness, you know. If you can't be kind, if you're kind, you're going to get kindness. If you're not kind, you're not going to get kindness, you know. So for me, when you say when you talked about energy, it reminded me of one of the things that we talked about today, surrounding yourself with people who are supportive and loving. Because when you're going through challenges, these people are there to lift you up, they are there to motivate you, they are there to help you. And and it just gave me that version of always eliminate those ones who want to make you feel less of yourself, because the moment you're around that energy, you are going to definitely become less of who you are. And I'll give it back to you, Coach Rahman, to share your last point for today.
My last point for today is fully allowing yourself to take that new step, because many people just start thinking that being successful for 2023, it has to start in January. No, it doesn't start in January. It started before January. It started even last year. Those moments when you were thinking about what am I going to become in 2023, that's the moment where your success started. From the moment you started thinking about what is that you're going to make out of 2023. But also, your success is not defined by what is that you're doing right now. Your success is defined by December 2023. That's the moment you're going to have to forward yourself and put yourself into perception of looking at what am I going to become by December 2023? Not January, not February, not March, not April. This is just a phase of you working towards that successful person you want to meet at the end of December 2023. And this is some, because most of us, and I know that a lot of people, they keep hearing the sentence all the time, that most of us, we estimate what we can achieve within a year, but we over underestimate what we can achieve within 5 to 10 years, because we always don't want to project ourselves to the leap of what it takes, the distance. We don't want to think about 5 years, we don't want to think about 10 years, because it seems too long for us. So for me, I'm going to think about 6 months, 3 months, because that's more reasonable. That's more making sense for me. That's something that I can measure. That's something that I can actually have even realistic goals. But in reality, those 6 months, that short time that you're preparing yourself, is temporary. But when you're preparing yourself for 2024, for 2025, 26, and knowing that you're already that person that you are projecting yourself within the 5 years to come, is what actually going to set you very successful from today. And this is what is going to motivate you to keep working on meeting up that person that you're looking for to become by the end of December 2023. So that's how I'm going to leave it to you now.
Yeah, but Coach Rahma, just to make it clear, I don't know. It would come. It's going to come with a question. This statement I'm going to make. Like sometimes, or some people, and I will put myself in that bracket. I always prefer to have a 5-year plan, but break it down in quarter, like to break it down in three. By 3 months, I want to achieve this. By 3 months, I want to achieve this. Because for me, and that's where I'm going to ask you a question. For me, it becomes realistic that in 5 years, I want to achieve A, B, C, D, E up to Z, but I prefer to look to do micro planning for the 3 year, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. That's where my question is going to come in. Does it matter how I do it, or the only thing that matters is achieving it?
Well, it's a very great question, because most of us, it's always great to understand what we're doing. So those micro goals that you're putting for yourself, you want to understand what is it that you're doing and reminding yourself of what is it that you are actually doing. Because if you wake up in the morning and you don't have a schedule, then you're just trying to imagine what your day is going to look like, but you have no idea how it's going to look like, right? So it's a good thing to have those micro things, like you say, that plan, where you have your own plan, where you're going through it, but without expectation, because that's really important. You're not expecting of the fact, like, you know what? If by the end of February I didn't achieve this goal that I've put here, then okay, I'm gonna move on to something else. Maybe your goals are not supposed to work within that frame time that you put for yourself. Your goals are supposed to work within the frame time of what is actually meant to be. And for you, you can have those plans, but putting in your head that you're not expecting anything. You're just allowing yourself to go through the process, fully embody it, understanding it, and experiencing what is that you are actually going to learn through that process of you doing those micro plans and whatever goals and etc. That your mind, you know that everything that you're actually working of becoming is already happening because you're already in the flow of that energy. You're already in the flow of allowing things to be part of you. If you want to be someone who's like is gonna make a successful business, or maybe you want to be an incredible, amazing wife or mother, you're not gonna wait until there is someone there coming and asking you to marry them in order for you to start acting like the wife. But you have got to embody that person that you want to become once you get married from now. And that's the same thing when you want to start a business, or maybe your goal is to make a certain amount of whatever income, whatever you want to make it, maybe 10K or maybe 5K, whatever it is. Your goal is not just to measure, okay, I'm giving myself till the end of the year to make that 5K, or I'm going to make this, and then see what was going to happen. And if it doesn't work, maybe I change strategy. No, you trust the process. By just knowing it's already taking place, the only thing you are going to allow is experiencing through those steps of yours that you're setting for yourself. Like today, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, see how it looks like, see how I'm getting, how am I learning through this? What did I do? And then try to also look and say, okay, oh, this is amazing. And being grateful, because every day when you wake up and doing something, let's say you beat up the time of waking up late, and then you woke up every single day, 5 a.m., like you said, you're going to wake up 5 a.m. It's a celebration. Celebrate it and feel it and say, oh, wow, that's amazing. I'm actually getting there. Oh, wow, I'm already that person, by the way, because I know that that successful business person that I want to become has to get up every single morning at 5 a.m. And I'm doing it already. I'm that successful person. So you see, this is set a whole new, how can I say, vibration frequency in terms of how you see things and even feel about things. And this is what is going to move and push you forward to that success of whatever goals that you're putting behind your intention and behind whatever it is that you want to achieve within those micro goals that you have for yourself.
Yeah, for me that became much more clear the way you've explained it, because the first version, if a person listened to it, they'll be like, okay, I can't make a monthly plan. You know how some people can change the whole concept of what someone says. They're like, oh, so I have to only have 5 year plan. I can't make my vision board for 1 year. You get, so beyond us having a plan for 1 year, we should also have for 5 years what you want to achieve in 10 years. Like some people, they come to UAE and say, you know what, I'm only going to be in UAE for 10 years. This is what I want to achieve in 10 years. But they don't even have a job yet. They don't have a job in UAE, but they say, I've just moved to UAE. It's my first month, but I'm only going to be in this country for only 5 years or 3 years. But there is no plan. You get, so there's a difference between you having a plan with you saying I have a 10 year or 5 year plan, and someone having a broken down plan and they are working towards it. Just like Rahma said, you want to be a CEO in the next 5 years. You start even waking up as a CEO. CEOs wake up early at 4 to start planning for their day. You know, are you that kind of CEO? or you're going to wait until you become CEO to wake up at 4 a.m. Huh? I don't know what you want to add on, Coach Jay.
Which never happens because we cannot become what we're not. We
That
only
is
getting the
true.
result of what we are. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
It's amazing how you put it. You want to become a CEO, you wait to become a CEO for you to start living that life. So what I wanted to add was just to something came in my mind when Rahma was explaining it, and the concept of success. Success, it depends what it means to you. What is success? It's getting that 10K your success. Is there something beyond that 10K? And the other thing that came in my mind is goals. They are not a destination. Goals, like what Joy is saying about the 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, they're not the destination. They're just boosters for you to move from point A to point B. So whenever you set goals, don't make them the limit, because sometimes you don't hit the goals, circumstances happen. So that's not your destination. That was just part of your path for you to get to where you want to be. Again, success is a journey, because you will get to become the CEO. Are you going to be satisfied with that position? No, you will want more. You will want to broaden your expertise. You'll want more. So all this, when you look at it as a journey, the road is still moving. And so we embrace the journey, we love the journey, we live the journey. And when you look back as the years progress, because what happens when we hit our goals in 2023? What happens after that? Do we go back to our old patterns, or we keep going on with that road trip that we're going? So it is the mindset that we keep, it is the mindset that we use. Use that mindset, visualize the future, what you want to see, and then start living it day by day, setting those baby steps, those small goals as you go towards your final destination, which I believe before it gets there, you'll be 70, 80, 90, 100 years old, because it never stops. We always want more. That's over to you, Coach Joy.
Yeah, that's very true. We always want more. It is life. And I like how Coach Rahma said it. It's better to have future goals, 10-year goals. How you get there is up to you. If you want to do micro goals like some of us, and goals never stop,
Yeah.
break them down to make it easier for you. Because some people look things in a chunky way, small chunks, and others big chunks. The big
Mm,
chunks could be you want to just make a plan of 5 years and reach there. And some people look at them in small chunks of, I'm going to break it down per year, per month, per week, you know. So it
mm,
depends on how you want to work out your plan. At the end of the day, the most important thing is achieving what you want and becoming who you want to become, because that never stops. It's a journey, just like Coach just said,
mm.
endless journey. I don't know what you have for us in closure today, Coach Rahma.
Well, I think you said it all. For both of you, you just said it all. And just maybe probably we'll just end it this way. Like, just believe in yourself. Allow yourself to step in and take the step. Overcome, like, feel the fear anyways, and just do it, because the fear will always be there. It's never going to go away. Even as coaches, the fear is always there. But what's next? But we're not allowing the fear to step us and controlling the idea that we are, anyways, going to step into the field of what is it that we are called to. And
Mm,
this is the most important thing. Like, getting to surround yourself with the right people, like Coach Jane said before, because your environment plays a huge role on
mm,
how you are going to show up in life as well. Because every day, if you're keeping on constantly being surrounded with people who are always constantly talking bad or talking negatively about whatever it is that you want to actually looking forward to achieve, but maybe their mindset is it's a mindset of let's say thinking small all the time, thinking that you're not deserving, and thinking that life is always happening to them and not for them. So even though you don't want to think like them, but energy is everywhere and energy is everything. So you will always constantly be feeling anxious, feeling stressed, feeling, why am I always feeling this way? Because either way, this is what I always tell people. And I know that I don't want to just go further for this, but I always tell people that I watch what I read, what I see, and also what I am also, like, talking about. If whatever is that, even the small things that is going to, like, the stories of people, they're putting bullshit out there, sorry for my French, but they're putting like things that are not making sense. I don't want to read that because I don't want that to be on my program. I don't want to tell myself these things. Or maybe, for example, some of my clients, they go said, like, I want to call upon my soulmate. But most of the time, she surrounds herself with their friends that always keep on saying that you're not good men. The men there are no men in the world that is going, my soulmate is not born yet, There is no man out there who's going to give me what I want. So if you're surrounding yourself with people who are telling you that all the time, you're going to believe that. And because you're going to believe that, you're actually not going to get what you want. So you have got to surround yourself with the people who are thinking alike like you, visionaries, people who are pushing you of going further. And even if you don't have those people surrounding you, it's time for you to take the responsibility of saying, you know what? I'm going to be the change that I want to see for myself. I'm going to fully allowing myself to set the change for those people who are going also to be inspired and around my environment. Maybe where you are, there are no people who are thinking big or maybe starting businesses or etc. Then you're going to start looking for people who are doing it. People are thinking that a mentor and a coach is only when you are closer to them or talking to them all the time. No, I have many mentors and coaches that I have in my life that I've never met ever in my life. But I read their books, I take their classes, I watch what they're doing and what etc. And this is what is more powerful. Like this beautiful community that Coach Joyce and Jen they created for you. It's a great environment for you to come in and tap in and getting the energy and really getting to embrace it and fully allow for yourself to do whatever it is that is calling you, because this is where you come in. And then by the changes of the external part of yourself, now you have got to take responsibility and change them yourself. So I hope this can inspire you, can touch your heart. And if you are the kind of person who's having a deep dream inside of them, and then you have this calling and you have this moments where this like you're feeling like your whole body is vibrating about it. You even want to cry. There is something that wants to lash out, like I deserve it. Let it come out because it's about time. Your time is now. There is never more tomorrow. There is never after tomorrow. Your time is right now, right here. This moment, you're going to take the decision of saying, you know what? I'm going to take the step to go after what I want and what I desire, and fully allowing myself to be that person that I want to become and getting the results that I want.
Very good, Rahma. Thank you for those powerful words. And I would say one thing is dare yourself to become the better version of yourself. I dared myself to glow. Here I am. I'm glowing. I am glowing, mindset wise, body wise. Otherwise,
I
thank you
love
so much,
that.
Rahma. It was amazing having you here today. Like, it's it's not easy having you. You always busy, you always have a lot on your plate, but you sacrificed to be here and help people out here broaden their mindsets, because we are all about mindsets. And like I said before, we are CEO of our lives. That's why our mindset page is called what is it called, Coach J?
Mindset to CEOs.
Very good. Because you are a CEO of your life. And I'm glad she is reminding all of you. If you're out there and you need to broaden yourself and become a better version of yourself, it starts from here, because your mindset is your power. And at the end of the day, we can all become a better version of ourselves. We can glow. We can, the energy that Coach Rahma talked about, you can only get that energy if you choose to. If you choose to. If you don't choose to, then you cannot get that energy. Anything you'd like to share, Coach J, before we close?
My thanks to Coach Rahma for honoring our invite. It's amazing to have fresh, how can I call it? Fresh mindset from us. Just to hear insights from other people to help our community to grow, to thrive, to become better, because our goal is to make sure that at the end of 2023, something comes out of all these webinars we are doing. People are going to get transformed, transitioned, become better versions. Because if you're better, I am better. We are building a community where we want to lift each other up. So, otherwise, thank you so much for joining us. To apart from the technology trying to fail us, we're excited you still made it here. Um, Thank you for honoring our invite. Back to you, Coach Joy, to close the session.
All right. So there's going to be a replay on both our mindset page. There's going to be a replay on our YouTube channels, and we'll be sharing a copy with Coach Rahma. She can also share on her platforms so that guys out there, you broaden your mind and we grow together, because that's what we are all about this 2023. Otherwise, we hope to have you again on our platform, Coach
It will
Rahma.
be such a great
We-
it will be such a great pleasure, and thank you again. I'm so grateful for you inviting me and for this opportunity for me to come and pour my energy and for your beautiful community. And it was such an incredible, amazing, powerful webinar because you are also incredible, amazing people. You're beautiful souls out there who are always like shining your lights to other people. And this is what we need because alone we cannot do it, but together we can do more and we can also spread it and change the world to a better place.
That's very true. That's very true. Thank you so much. Otherwise, stay blessed and stay safe, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.